Hey everybody, what's
And
up?
what's up? What's up,
We got a
people? How's it going, Cody?
good. How are you, man?
Oh, pretty good. We're back here live, waiting for people to join in here. So, we're live on all platforms except for Instagram.
There's some pretty big news. Hong Kong now lets retail investors trade certain cryptos, and
Oh, really?
Polka Dot's on that list of cryptos that Hong Kong will let their retail investors trade.
Oh man, that's actually pretty good. Pretty
Yeah,
good.
you got Litecoin, Polka Dot. I think Cardano is on there too. I'm not sure, but
Oh, definitely. That's definitely a good thing. Got a lot of craziness to talk about. Thank you guys for joining in. If you could like, subscribe, and share, we're live on TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. And I'm putting in the chat on YouTube the link to join if you have any questions. Cody's kind of going to lead the charge on this stream today as we talk about rug pulls and scams and trying to avoid certain things. So let me get that set up into the chat, and I'm gonna try my best to be a good host here.
oh yeah,
Let's see here. Copy that. There we go. So if you want to join us live, just comment away. If you're on TikTok and you don't feel like switching over to YouTube, definitely put your question in the comments. I will try to answer any related
I
ones.
sent you a few. I sent you a few articles in the private chat that I want to go over.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go with the first one here that you have. Oh, look at that one. Open up that tab. Go here. Share screen. No, here it is. You want to go over the Hong Kong one first.
Oh yeah, so this is a big thing because we have more money that's being able to get into the markets. Each time an exchange,
Mm-hmm.
post a new coin, like for example XRP, or when something like that happens, that's just more money into the markets.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let me go back over here. So yeah, you're saying something about Hong Kong joining. I can't pull up this one. I don't have a subscription to Bloomberg.
Bloomberg. Oh yeah, well this is a big thing that's going on right now too. Just look up in general like Hong Kong and crypto, and you'll get more articles.
Okay, let me see here. But yeah, allows retail investors to trade crypto and new rules. So, but you're saying something they were allowed to purchase. I'll just sign up here.
Yeah.
Give me a second, guys. I'll go over to the next one on Binance. Uh, we can talk about this one here while I get that article, get subscribed there. There we go. So this one here is come on. Here's a little slow.
Commingled customer funds and company revenue. What does
What they
commingled
did?
mean? Yeah.
They didn't separate or isolate. They kind of mixed everything together into one account.
Yeah, that's what's going on right now.
In the Binance,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, that's no good. That's no bueno. That definitely gonna lose some. That's definitely gonna slow down the crypto markets. And so it was news agency reviewed a bank record showing that on February 10th, Binance mixed 20 million from corporate account with 15 million from an account received customer money. Oh, okay. So that's not good. So, although they say they have more reserves than that,
Huh?
everyone's the Binance says that they have more reserves, like a significant sum of reserves. So this shouldn't be a problem to reconcile it. But when stuff like this happens, usually that customer money has been probably either accidentally spent or it's been withdrawn for other evidence. But now they also say there's no evidence that Binance clients' money has been lost or taken.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
But, yeah, but it's also saying here SEC Chair Gary Gensler has said that many crypto exchanges offering securities to U.S. customers are not complying with laws requiring registered broker dealers to safeguard client money by separating it from corporate assets. Their business models tend to be built on taking customer funds and commingling it. So that's kind of what happened with like a lot of the other ones that went down, like Voyager and things like that. It's everything got mixed up, and by the time customers did kind of a run on the bank, all the money left. So it's like it's just one of it's it seems to have been a common occurrence in the older companies, but I think the companies now are, that are around are not commingling the funds. They're not mixing up anything. They're kind of keeping everything separate.
Binance needs to try to be like official as possible because Binance is going to be the number one. It's got to act like the number one.
Yep. But the thing is it's also got a Binance has a big target, and I think I forget the guy's name that founded, but I think that guy wanted to was knew that
TV.
they were gonna yeah knew that he had a big target, so that he was gonna they're gonna start hounding him. But then FTX collapsed, and he's like, okay, they kind of like backed off on him, but he kind of had the same setup as FTX, but it's hard to say without having like a third party, one of the big accounting firms do an audit on them, because it just should have been they should have had a more formal audit on the company, but they don't have that, so it's hard to say what's going on. You're only
We
getting
need,
information like 2 years later.
yeah, my question is when is Binance going to get that official audit? Like,
Probably when there's regulation.
mm.
There has to be regulation first before it can go for you
Because
know
if
any
everybody
type
knew,
any type of disclosing going forward, I guess.
if everybody knew what Binance's balance sheet actually was, like, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but that would provide a lot more clarity.
Oh yeah, they're definitely fractal reserving their money there. So they probably have liabilities that far exceed what they have in available cash.
So they say they have like 68 billion in crypto assets. So they probably have about 100 billion in liabilities or something like that.
They might. It wouldn't surprise me.
And they're counting on that big bull run like Tether.
Yep. That's the thing. You can't count on bull runs like that. It's just it's freaking hard and impossible to predict when that run up is going to happen. So the only thing that you can do is really, they should be reserving their customer funds at all cost,
Yeah.
instead of just doing the fractal lending and stuff like that. But the thing is that it's so tempting to do a fractal lending that's why these guys did it.
Oh yeah, it's tempting. Greed and human emotion, it happens to everybody. But, Binance is looking kind of scary.
And it's
I
certain.
remember in 2021, I was thinking like BNB, like it's a long term investment, like Binance, it's never going to go away. And,
Yeah,
now 2 years later, I'm like, oh, it can definitely go away.
yeah. You're never too big to fail.
Yeah, because
That's
I
what
thought
people.
Binance was I literally said Binance was too big to fail one time.
It's like you will eventually you will eventually start having problems, and if there's any kinks in the armor, then it's just pretty much over for them. So it's like if they have a run on the assets, then there's really nothing that they can
Could
do.
you imagine if Tether and Binance collapsed at the same time? What that would do to the market?
Well, we definitely see a 50%, if not a 60% crash on
We
what's
would
there.
see, I think we'd see like a 70 or 80, 70 to 90% dump if Binance and Tether at the same time. Bitcoin would probably go to like $6,000 or $7,000. Like, I'm
Mhm.
serious.
But it'd be a record time to really
That's
get
where
in.
the money would be made. Everybody would be so scared to the point where, you talked about crypto anywhere, people would laugh at you, people would roast you. It would go back to the days where you'd just be a freaking nerd. I mean, people already view us as nerds, but it's like if Bitcoin had a significant drop like that, like I think the true smart money would get in and everybody else would be like shitting on those people, if that
Oh
was
yeah,
to truly happen. But I think there'd still be a lot of buyers at 6,000. I think people would still want to buy it, even if that happened.
yeah. There still be some people wanting to get in and buy. I would see big institutions buying up a lot at that point.
Yeah, $6,000 Bitcoin would be too hard to pass up.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a ridiculously good. And hey, if you guys are just joining, hey, please help us grow, help us grow in our viewers. Like and share, like and subscribe. If you have a question, please comment it. We'll be happy to answer any question relating to crypto, business, investment, stocks, real estate. Also, you can join us over on YouTube if you'd like. I got the free invite there. You can join at any time. As you know, we do this every morning at 8:30, live at 8:30, crypto morning chat, and you can join us again on Sunday for what's in your portfolio. We do a lot of try to talk a lot of topics investment related. You get to watch us do research on stocks, things like that. Cody's the guy here. He's talking. He's the one that got me into all the crypto and everything, and got me learning a lot, as well as he is also the one that really brought my enthusiasm into crypto here. And but I also do a lot of other things. I run a couple companies. I own a moving company. I own a detail shop. I own real estate. I invest in stocks and crypto, of course, and a lot of other things. And I do invest in other people's businesses as well, as long as it's a right fit for myself and the person presenting the business to me. So, with that said, like and subscribe, get this shared, grow, help us grow. It's all free. All a like is just free. So, have at
You
it.
guys
Share
get to watch
it
us
away.
both grow.
Oh yeah, but we're still talking about Binance. But I got that other article pulled up about Hong Kong here, so I'm gonna switch over there.
Oh, ETH just went down 3% to 1798, 1796.
hmm Yeah, everything's been trading sideways. Although, like I said, guys, earlier, we're looking dollar cost averaging is pretty good, but it's looking like we're gonna have a
We
good
got
buy
to see the
point in the
bears
next
come
couple of
in.
days.
There's no way that it can be a pre-halving year and the bulls are going to take over every month. There's just no way that can logically happen. I've been not only predicting this but guaranteeing myself on this because it's like you can't be in a pre-halving year and just have all green months. That one has never happened, and two, it won't ever happen because I mean the halvings next year. So you can't say that, oh, well, we could be bullish like this year. Like, I mean, I don't see, we've already been bullish.
hmm Yeah, the Bears are eventually going to win out on this for the rest of the year. I'm getting the alerts too. I'm watching. We're having a 5% dive, but another kind of big hit that could happen to the crypto and stock markets is one, either we don't get the US defaults on the debt. If that doesn't happen, if the Fed doesn't halts interest rates increases, we're going to see about a 10 to 15% dip in everything, which
Yes,
would
I
be a
love it.
very, very good timing. And so, but I have a feeling the CPI in June is going to come in a little lower again. So I think inflation is finally starting to level out. From what I'm seeing with the cost of running businesses, the costs are not rising as much anymore. Everything's kind of stabilizing. So it looks like we're headed in the right direction. Like I said, beginning of last year, it's like we were in a recession, and we were in a recession from basically July of last year to about February of this year. Now the recession's pretty much over. So it seems like things are getting back to normal. That's my opinion, but definitely, if you feel differently, do your own research. I definitely uh, approve of you always doing your own research and coming to your own conclusions. But I feel like that's kind of over with, but we still got some big hurdles, some huge events that could really hit us hard, such as the debt ceiling and the and what's going to happen when they stop raising
I'm
interest.
hearing people say that we're still in a recession.
Yeah, it's kind of the fear mongers. They're always going to want to they're always going to want to promote that type of stuff, and unfortunately, they're like they're just pounding away at it, saying, "Hey, we're get ready for doom and gloom, get ready for doom and gloom, get ready for doom and gloom," and then doom and gloom doesn't happen, or it does happen, and they're like, "See, I told you so." But I don't think we're gonna be bad. It really hasn't been a soft landing, in my opinion, but it's definitely been easing up there, just easing up a little bit on what we're doing. But we hit pretty hard like a few months ago. Like everything just kind of took a dive, stocks took a dive. My overall stock portfolio took a huge, I wouldn't say huge, but 25% hit of all my stocks and equities. So, but I know that in 10 years, all this is going to get resolved. We're all going to be back to where we were, and everything's going to kind of move forward in the right direction. But now that I got this article pulled up with Hong Kong here, Hong Kong is allowing retail investors to trade crypto under its new rule book. Here it is.
Oh yeah, and I wonder if it shows from, because from what I saw, it was Polkadot, it was Litecoin, it was Bitcoin, it was Ethereum, and I think we had Stellar. I'm not sure. Yeah, Stellar was on there.
Yeah, it's not showing it here, but
Pretty much the coins you'd find on any Bitcoin ATM is what
yeah,
you can
yeah,
trade
pretty
in Hong
much.
Kong. It's gonna get to a point. I hope XRP can get back on. I hope it can get on the ATMs. Like Stellar Lumens is good. It's pretty much the same thing, but I'd rather use
Hey,
XRP.
hold on, Cody. Hey, yeah, thanks for joining again on day 4. Welcome back, and hey, I got my mini fro here. Uh, give me give me 1,000 likes, and I'll grow this fro out again. Give me 1,000 likes today, and I'll think about growing out the fro. Yeah, so, but keep joining in. If you guys have any questions, certainly feel free drop them in, and get to ask away your questions, because we're here to help. And likes and follows are appreciated, because we do this for free, just because we're enthusiastic about investing and helping grow. And you can watch our process. Definitely Cody, because Cody is is going, his personal net worth is definitely going to go to the moon in the next 5 years, because he is making all the right decisions so far.
Oh yeah, right now I'm just dollar cost averaging, and there's a chance it could all not work out.
Mhm.
And if that's the worst case
Oh, for
scenario,
sure.
then I'll be 24 years old and I can just recover myself. I'm only 22 right now. I turned 23 in September, but that's just where I'm at as far as like my risk tolerance. And in 2 to 3 years, I definitely see it. I definitely see myself in the good six figure range.
Yeah, let me see if I could pull up. Let me go to Google. Let me see if I could pull up a uh, list of cryptos that Hong Kong is allowing. They just unreleased the ban. It's never too late. If you're alive, it's always good to watch and learn, and at least keep yourself interested. So, but hey, thanks for joining, Otto. Uh, Crypto exchanges. List of crypto allowed in Hong Kong. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if I can pull up that list. Up here it is. They had it approved a while ago. Let me share the screen here. It's saying so. I'm not getting a good
Hold on,
list here.
I'm grabbing my charger real quick.
Let's see here. I'm not seeing an exact list. There is a day ago, but here we go. Let's see if this is the right one. Share screen. See if this one's the right one, folks. Oh man. But I know for sure it was Bitcoin, ETH, dot, and I'm not sure about the other two in there. But there's a few cryptos. They're allowing them to go to get in and actually start using them and to buy things and trade and everything, and they're reopening. So yeah, Bitcoin and Ether June 1st confirmed start for that. Yeah, so Bitcoin and Ether will be traded in Hong Kong, which is pretty interesting because if that's going to happen, I think it's going to broaden throughout China, and then we're definitely going to see some growth over there. I think we got this other one here. Cody had this other one. Attackers left empty-handed as crypto hacks dropped 70% in Q1 of 2023, and I think that's mainly because a lot of people switched off to hard wallets. And after the FTX collapse, the Voyager collapse, the Celsius collapse, all those collapses in 2022, it I think it dropped. Plus, it's getting harder and harder as retail investors do get smarter about their involvement in crypto. That's pretty crazy that the hacking has dropped 70%. And they said the average hit in Q1, highest 30 million, lowest 10.5. Because I mean, there was hacks that were coming out that were like, oh god, they were like 50, 60. Some of them were like 100 million worth. I think the highest one was like 4.5 billion Bitcoin, only because they took it. It was 83 million at the time, but it skyrocketed. But it goes to show you get your funds off the exchanges, get them into hard wallets because you want to make sure it's your money, not someone else's, and never share your seed phrase with anybody, even if they ask for it to verify. No, they'll never ask. Don't give out your seed phrase. Now, if you do have a lot of money, I do recommend what a lot of big players do is they buy new wallets and they just rotate it like every like 6 months or something. It's a little complicated and you burn some of your money doing that. But if you're talking several $1 million worth, then it might be worth it to do that. But yeah, I think also because I know part of a lot of the big hacks were from exploits in the code, and of course, as more and more they find these code the bugs and the exploits, the company can then go back and fix them, and then a hacker's not gonna be able to get back in there again. Hackers don't usually do things that are very hard. Criminals usually do things that are quick, easy, and unnoticed. So if they can find if it's a simple bug hack, then they'll do it. But other than that, they're not really going to put a lot of effort into it after that fact. Like if you put a bigger lock on, they're just going to move on to the next person who didn't put a bigger lock on. That's kind of how thieves operate, and that's exactly how hackers will operate. But it's always good. Make sure you have. I have two wallets. I have Arculus and Nano Ledger, and I use them both. So I have half on one and half on the other, and that's just how I do it. And I have a little bit left on exchanges, but not much, not much compared to what actually is my portfolio. So, if I lose it, I lose it. But I'm comfortable with what they have, so I don't feel like I'm going to ever really lose it. But that's my opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. If you decide that you want to be on hard wallets, then definitely go for it. If you say, "Hey, crypto.com works for me," then do crypto.com. But just remember, there are risks to everything, including hard wallets too. But I believe now you with a hard wallet, you can definitely pay someone to
Oh, I'm sorry for not
get that
talking. By
recovered.
the way, I'm still engaged to what you're saying. I was just responding to a text. But
No
yeah,
worries.
speaking of hardware wallets, we had the Ledger drama recently, and keep in mind, I still like Ledger. I still hold my Ledger for my crypto holdings. I'm not going to be one of those fear mongers and be like, oh, I got to go to Trezor because, like I said, Trezor and all the other hardware wallets, they could do the same thing. And if not, Ledger probably has more money and involvement in the space anyway. So why not go with the giant? I'd rather go where the pockets are deeper
Exactly.
and not only that, like I've been following the developers, the hacks have been
Mhm.
dropping recently, but my dad knows this guy, and this is a true story. Like my dad knows this guy at work who's actually been in Bitcoin since 2012, and he told me this guy has a purple Bitcoin like magician wizard shirt, and it says "Magic Internet Money" on it. I'm
Yeah.
serious, and it's an old Bitcoin shirt. Like this isn't like people nowadays making these shirts, they're making copies of it, but this was like an OG like Bitcoin shirt. And anyway, his friend talks about Bitcoin. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I got like 3 or 4 Bitcoin I've still been holding, but I will say when Bitcoin has these random spikes, it's because the hackers are going up." And my dad actually told me that. And you remember, I don't remember the company name, but there was this big, it was actually my dad's company, yeah. And my dad, he's a project manager at Gates, but at Gates, their network actually got hacked. And so what
Mhm.
actually happened was the Bitcoin hackers that hacked into his job's network, they took about I think a few $100,000 worth of stuff.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, they took a few $100,000 worth of money and they held it for ransom, and pretty much they had to pay Bitcoin.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this
It's
is my
crazy.
dad told me this. Like I'm 100% telling you the truth on this. Like my dad told me this, and it's crazy because his paycheck actually got shorted one time because of that. Like he had to wait till like another pay period to get some of that money back and his original paycheck.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because hackers hacked the network. Like it's
Mhm.
ridiculous, and they wanted Bitcoin.
Hmm. But here's also the crazy thing. There's that guy, that infamous hacker. I can't remember his name, but I saw like a clip of the interview they did recently. And what he would do, he was hacking other people's computers, like tens of thousands of people's computers, and setting it up for mining Bitcoin and everything. I was like, man, that's pretty good. And he said it took, I think he did like 4 or 5 million computers, and people didn't even notice. And it was like it was using 70% of the operating capacity to mine Bitcoin, and would do 100% while they were sleeping. And while he knew they were sleeping, so I was like, man, that was pretty ingenious move to do to to do that. But you got to admire their ingenuity. But most hackers, like I said, if it's an easy access point and an easy exploit they can do right away, they'll do it. But now that companies are getting wise to it and hiring, because there's always a really really good hacker that becomes a white hat hacker and goes around and tests their securities, builds them up, builds up the networks and everything, and then all of a sudden that company has a big lock on it and they'll just move away from it and go to another company.
Yeah.
But I was surprised to see that it was 30 70% down in hackers for Q1. And it just goes to show, and I think part of it really was people got scared so badly in the in 2022 that most people move their stuff to hard wallets, so it's not sitting on exchanges and everything. 'Cause I remember that one couple. It was I think it was the beginning of 2021 when it happened, but they left like $400,000 of ETH on Coinbase, and then their account got hacked, and of course their ETH got drained, and they were watching it in live time, and they couldn't do anything about it. I mean, that's a very terrible feeling to have. I, I can only imagine like you just looking at your money just slowly disappearing, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, but it goes to show you guys, be careful, get your hard wallets, get everything set up. Don't worry about, leaving on the exchange. Just make sure you save your money, and protect your assets and your money. Just like people protect you guys protect your credit card information, make sure you protect your crypto wallet information just as diligently, because this is really going to be, we're only in the very beginning stages of the market growing. So you could end up in 10, 20 years having a lot of money of what you're investing in today. And you want to make sure it's well protected and it's something that you don't forget.
Exactly. And I wouldn't be surprised if like someone as big as Binance, I'm not glorifying Binance, but I'm sure they have, especially CZ, I bet he has his long-term holdings on the ledger.
hmm I'm sure they're all on it, but even those guys make mistakes. I think what was it, FTX? They've lost the seed phrase to one of the wallets.
So that money's just never going to go back
Is
into
is
circulation.
It's never. It's going to be a long time. I think there's people out there that can like crack open the wallet and get the money out, but it just goes to show you, like, even these guys were making such big mistakes. But speaking of Binance, I think there was some news on him too.
CZ.
Yeah, no, not Binance. FTX.
They're gonna milk the FTX stuff so much. I can already tell FTX is gonna be milked for so long in crypto.
Here it is. That's what I wanted to talk about. Here, let me show you. So I saw this one pop up. FTX sues Sam Bankman-Fried. So his own company sues him for acquisition of a worthless company.
Acquisition of a worthless company.
Yeah,
You
they
actually
bought.
sue somebody for that?
Yeah, since he was crowdfunding the business, and it's in bankruptcy. The bankruptcy trustee can sue the owner for, I guess you can consider it business malpractice, and it's kind of hilarious. But he's suing. They're suing, and they're trying to sue to recover money for the people who lost money, all the clients that they lost money for. So they're suing the company for a total company 250 million acquisition of stock clearing platform Embed. Okay, so they were buying that for the FTX stocks that they were doing, I guess. But I guess they didn't really do anything with it, or never merged it or anything. Yeah, complete lack of due diligence. Internal messages that the platform cannot handle approximately 600 new user accounts, even though the release plan is specify 10,000. Oh, so it was just like a smoke and mirrors thing. They bought it for $250 million, and there's nothing in it. Oh my goodness, they were just throwing money away. He was just throwing it away. Shoot, we might as well just went to a strip club and just chucked the bricks at the strippers, just hurling them, because it's like, man, that is crazy. The only one who made out was Embed's founder, 157 million. My God, that is just that. I just like, every time I keep looking at this FTX case and SBF, there's always something. It's just mind boggling what
It's
happened.
a joke. It's all just a big joke. It's all just something like, imagine two middle schoolers like they're on the playground talking, and they're talking, what do you want to do, man? Yeah, man, so I'm gonna make this big company, and I'm just gonna rob people of their money. Like, it sounds like it would be in like a joke, but it actually happened.
Yeah. Yeah. How can you buy a company who has a stock portfolio company that has 37 million in assets was only making 25,000 in profits for the year at 250 million dollars? Like,
That's like a 13 an hour, $12 an hour wage, like 25K a year in profits.
yeah, and all of that, it's like this marks now that I think about it, looking at this purchase kind of is has a lot of check marks that come into money laundering, because you wouldn't throw $250 million at a company that was only making $25,000 a year.
Yeah.
Hey, I see here you just say, honestly, I just stay away from investing. Well, unfortunately, buddy, with we lost out on the era of high interest savings accounts. So there's really nothing you can do but to invest wisely. Now, if you do your research, you become educated on the area that you're investing in, you understand the company or the asset that you're getting involved in, you can make money. You won't have, you won't you'll be avoiding it. But the thing about scams is they hit you when you're at your lowest. So like a lot of these crypto pump and dumps, they're hitting people when they're desperate for money, they're trying to get rich quick, and they're at their most vulnerable. So it's easy to fall prey to it. Um Lysergic, I didn't didn't see your previous ones there. They might have gotten overlapped. But hey, if you just want to repeat those or just repost them, hey, go ahead. I'll be more than happy to. But yeah, keep posting your comments. I'm more than happy to look into it for you and answer any of your questions. Um, but yeah, it's just crazy this that every time we come out, there's more things. It's like, and of course, it's like when his ex girlfriend was managing a trading firm that at one point had $21 billion in assets, and it's like she's doing this all high on methamphetamines and stuff. It's like it's a recipe for disaster. Then they
What the hell?
then the article, they come in, they crack open, they finally get into their house in the Bahamas, and all it was meth, Adderall, methamphetamine around, and just one massive orgy in the house. They weren't actually doing anything with the business other than just wildly spending the $9.5 billion worth of clients' funds. And on top of all that, I think 3 billion of it is yet to be accounted for, meaning they see that it left, but they have no idea where it went. When these regulators say, or the court says it's unaccounted for, it means they saw it leave, they could see it's gone, but they have no idea what happened to it. And I have a feeling it's socked away somewhere in a wallet or something.
It is. It's somewhere.
I know that they're trying to scrape him of the $400 million in Robinhood stock. That is that he's using basically to fight, but that's not his money. It's really technically clients' money. So it's like the only ones who are ever going to make out of this are going to be the lawyers. The
Yep.
lawyers are the only ones who are going to make money off of FTX because they're collecting all the fees. They don't have to give their money, and they either get paid by him or the court. So, and of course, if they get paid by the court, they're really getting paid by us taxpayers. But it's just crazy how it keeps getting deeper and deeper in here. And it's like, man, like what the hell is going on? But once we get to when the trial moves to discovery, because we're not even in discovery yet. Like he's just being held, and and both sides are trying to gather evidence to go to discovery. So when they go to discovery, that's the point for the prosecution to ask SBF what's going on, and everything's kind of is under oath at that point. So then they can bring their witnesses, they can do all that stuff, and then after they go from discovery, then they'll go to a grand jury for the criminal case, and that's not going to bode well because if he goes to a criminal case, that basically means you lose every civil case against you, and that includes the SEC, the SEC, the and the other lawsuits from business that are from other businesses, and of course the client lawsuits, and
I
of
want
course
to.
I think he's also getting sued by. Hold on, Cody. He's also getting sued by what is it? By all the sponsors he hired.
I was about to say, what's gonna happen to Kevin O'Leary? Like,
Well, he's going to have to give that money back because it's within 7 years. So the clawback's going to pull that money back. Two, he's going. He's probably then going to join the lawsuit to sue because those sponsors are arguing that what they were paid qualifies as income, so the court can't claw it back. That's the only thing the court can't claw is income paid out. So like they can't take money from secretaries paid out. They can't take any income like direct income paid to people who actually did work, which the sponsors did do work, but it's hard to say, $21 million to just to say, hey, go trade on FTX is absolutely absurd.
yeah,
And like I see them getting a clawback on it. But what I don't think I don't think SBF and his family understand that he is going to be made an example of. They are going to make an example of this guy, just like they did to Madoff. They're going to bury him.
yep, exactly. They're gonna keep milking it and just keep making him as the big example.
Exactly. Now, all the money he gave out to politicians, that will get clawed back. They have to by law give that money back. But that was only something like $80 million or something like
80. It was like 130 million to the
130 million. So yeah,
Democratic Party.
yeah, they'll get that money back. They'll get that money back very quickly. But it's finding that other $3.5 $3 billion and trying to get assets out of there because I think they only have a total assets out of Sam Bankman-Fried of like $500 million that they've seized, which we're nowhere near the $9.5 billion that they got to return to clients.
You said 500 million.
Yeah, 500 million. I think a $40 million home in the Bahamas, about another $100 million worth of assets. They're also taking his parents' home that was bought with FTX uh, clients' assets of something like $10 million. There's a lot they're taking back.
It's crazy.
But let me go back over
So
here.
he
See,
was just in a little trading house with methamphetamines and having like massive orgies.
pretty much, pretty much. That's all. That's all it was. That's all it was. They were just burning through clients' money. A lot of it just went to food and drug. That's all it really went to. Food and drugs. And they did see some luxury sports cars and stuff like that because when he was in the US, he had that stupid little Corolla. But then in the Bahamas, they had all their fancy cars. So they
It's
see things.
crazy.
I'm telling you, if anyone's trying to force that they're humble with their money, that's probably the one person you shouldn't trust.
Yeah.
Because someone who's worked hard for their money, it's gonna show itself in some fashion or form.
You're going to want to buy yourself something nice. If you've truly worked your ass off to build up wealth and you delayed gratification, by nature, if you've delayed gratification for 10 years, you finally hit that multi-million dollar net worth, you're going to want to make some splurges.
Yeah, it's just impossible. It's human nature to kind of do that.
You're
Oh,
not going to build up for 10
hands are
years
down.
and just want nothing, that's very rare.
Oh yeah, it's just impossible. But to grandstand on that, what did he say? What was his big thing? It was altruistic capitalism. Basically, I'm spending your money.
Hmm. Give me your money, I'm gonna spend it.
Yep, it's crazy. It's crazy to see what is what was happening. And the crazy thing about the SBF thing is it's only going to get it's only going to get worse from here. It's only going to get worse. But luckily, the only good thing I can think of is that the people that got burned in FTX, most of them are probably 40 and under, so they still have time to recover. But there are people that had like $500,000 in there in FTX that left because they were saying keep your money on the exchange. We're completely safe.
Yep.
Keep your money on there. Keep your money. I can't tell you how many ads I saw that said keep your money on the exchange.
That's crazy because they were telling you to do that just so they could spend it.
Yeah. And
Nobody, nobody would be interested in customers' money. The only people who want to do something with all the customers' money would be saying that. Coinbase, you don't hear them saying, "Keep your money on the exchange."
yeah, exactly. It's like get it on, get it off. And it's just terrible that people are experiencing this, but unfortunately it's only going to get worse for the people involved in FTX. It's just going to get worse. Like I just can't imagine this getting better for people because
They're gonna keep bonding more and
more
more and
and more.
more.
But here's the thing. This is since you got this is an anthill and it's got so many tunnels. As soon as we get his ex-girlfriend and that other guy into discovery as witnesses and they're giving their testimonial, or I'm sorry, their statements. Once they're giving their statements, we're gonna find out some real crazy stuff. I guarantee it because she got only, I think, a handful of years and then probation for her cooperation. So she must have had something big for the FBI to say, hey, look, just do 2 years minimum security, probation for 10. Let's go and tell us everything you know. It's going to get really wild to see what's going to happen with FTX and everything.
So Sam Bankman-Fried's probably gonna end up getting life. Like,
Oh, they're going to slap him with like 200 years, no parole, just to make an example of him. And that's going to, yeah, he's all smiles and sunshines right now. But as soon as he gets that, he's going to he's going to be one of those people. He's going to have a mental breakdown in the courthouse on sentencing. Because I guarantee he's going to have this kid is going to mentally break and it's going to be
so
one of
he
the
has a lot of hopes right now. Like he actually has a lot
yeah.
of hope.
When you look at him, he really thinks he's just walking away from this. Like he is not going to walk away from this. He committed a massive fraud, almost as big as Bernie Madoff. The only reason he didn't was because uh, the Binance creator CZ figured out what SBF was doing and launched a preemptive attack on him. And if he didn't short the FTX token and cause that massive dump off, he would Sam Bankman-Fried would have never been found out.
Really,
Never been found out.
really.
He would have still kept him no because people were piling money. I think it was like 10 to $12 million a day in customer assets being funneled into FTX through all the third party links, through all the sponsors, through all their ads and everything.
So CZ pretty much talking trash about FTX on Twitter is what did it.
Yep. And he dumped his huge stake in FTX tokens, just unloaded on the market, forcing them to buy it. which kind of caused a chain reaction. And then people got scared thinking it was going to happen, just like what happened to Luna, Voyager, and Celsius. So everybody ran to FTX, tried to pull their money out. So they had something like $4 billion leave in one day. And then the next day, there all of it was trying to be withdrawn and they didn't have it. I think at one point they had a total of 32 billion in consumer assets, and but they only had like 5 or 6 billion.
I
And
remember Sam Bankman-Fried would be on Twitter and he'd be tweeting like he was this self-righteous person.
yep, it was all
It
it,
was all an ego
it
trip
was
for
all
him.
smoke and mirrors to get people to join, to get people to give him money, and they were just wildly spending it on all their causes. But I have a feeling, like I've always been stating, I think Gary Gensler has been involved with this from the beginning, and it wouldn't surprise me if once it goes to court that he's no longer the chair of the SEC. Both his parents and his ex girlfriend's parents are involved. I can't imagine it not them not being involved in it, especially since like $100 million was diverted from FTX to each of their parents. So and they bought wildly expensive homes and cars compared to what their income was.
Yeah. So you think they have like a
Oh,
involvement in the actual like stealing a customer's funds?
hold on, one Cody. I think they do, but hold on, Cody. Britt, we are talking about rug pulls and scams in the crypto industry. So if you could like, share, and get us out there, or if you want to join live and have any opinion on it, speak away. Also, if you want to help support us on other platforms, TikTok, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and Facebook are the ones we stream on, and all the reposts get done on Rumble.com. So, but thank you, Britt, for sharing. Really appreciate the love and support. Certainly, guys, ask away. We're far from being done. Right now, we're talking about the FTX scandal and the craziness. So, but it's unfortunate that there's not really much to talk about right now because we really are waiting on more discovery. So, a lot of this is just opinions until we get to the court, until we get to the discovery in the court. Um, but so, like you're saying, Cody, that the what was I say? Their parents, I think they were involved. I think they set the whole thing up because they kind of like they knew each other before their kids knew of each other, and then it kind of like forced and arranged like the relationship, and then arranged everything like this. Like he went right from MIT right to the trading floor for companies. Then he went into crypto, but there's no way he got all that money from Bitcoin arbitrage. I mean, arbitrage is the hardest way for people for you to get a lot of money. And to say that you got a couple $1 billion from Bitcoin arbitrage that's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
someone had to have given him that money. And there's a conspiracy right now with some other people that FTX and SBF have connections to Epstein. So it's like it's just wild how everyone's
So
tying
it's
these
so
things
pretty
together.
much. Sorry for interrupting you, but
No,
pretty
but
much it's gonna this is gonna go on for 10 years or more. This thing,
the I don't think the trial will go on for 10 years. I think
not the trial, but we're gonna get more and more
oh yeah,
information during the next ten
the
years.
the what you call it the actual discovery from the trustee and more crazy news stories are just going to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming with the with as they just keep peeling back layer after layer after layer of it. It's terrible that this has happened, but at the same time, I can't help to admire the comedic tragedy of what FTX and SBF are, and it's just going to get worse and worse But the one thing for this is one, I don't think the public's going to tolerate anything less than throwing the book at this guy, and this guy can't handle the consequences of his actions. He's going to have a mental breakdown when he gets his sentencing, when the lawsuits all rule against him. He's going to be in massive debt and in prison for the rest of life. He's going to have a mental breakdown. It's
Because he's already on
crazy.
medications. He already has a bunch of mental issues.
Yeah, well, he also took a lot of experimental drugs to get high. A lot of things that normal people don't do to get a high, and unfortunately, that's causing those don't interact well with other medications, and it's causing certain mental illnesses in him. But like, I think he just developed somehow all the combination of all those drugs turned him into what he is right now, and I think he doesn't understand or see what's about to hit him. I think he thinks this is all going to blow over. He's going to lay low for a little bit, and he's got a wallet hidden somewhere with a lot of money, and he's going to run off with it. I think that's what he's planning to do. But but if he did this 50 years ago, he would have gotten like financial crimes for like 2 3 years at the most. They didn't even talk about them in the news. But now after Bernie Madoff, oh, you're gonna get land blasted, hit hard, destroyed on everything. Like they are going to they are going to wreck him in the courts, just absolutely wreck him, and and then the public is going to wreck him. So he has no hope from anywhere, and I think they're all implicated. It's just a matter of time before they start doing a lot of their research and everything, because I don't I don't foresee them. How should I put it? I don't foresee them giving up on anybody. Like I think they got their entry point to the case, and then everyone else is just going to get a harsher sentence. But that's my opinion. But we still have to see. I don't even know if there is a court date set. Let me take a look out that at that up. SPF court date. Okay, yeah, push back to October of this year. Okay, so in October we'll know. We'll start to see this in October.
Yep, and we're gonna hear a lot about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it's unfortunately for the people who lost their money and lost their life savings, because you're going to be watching this getting more and more and more frustrated, anger, being pissed off, and things like that. And it's a horrible thing. Like I saw the Bernie Madoff result. You know, you had people crying, you had old people not knowing what to do, you had people who had kids and families, kids going to college, and they told them they couldn't go to college. Like that was a big scare. Luckily, though, I don't think there was a lot of senior citizens involved in this. I think it was a
Could
lot of
you
young people.
could you give me a breakdown about what happened with Bernie Madoff? Like a
Okay,
brief
yeah,
summary.
I can give you into that in a second. Britt, to answer to uh, yeah, Britt, that's so far out. I hate the legal system. Yeah, the legal system is frustrating, especially when you can hire expensive attorneys. And what it is that the F the agencies have a set date because they're gathering their research, but then the his defense team is pushing it back further to give them more time to come up with a defense to all the evidence. So every time they get evidence, they have to then give it give them a record of it to the defense team so they can make their defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if in October or like September we see that they pushed it back a little more, unfortunately. But what happened with the to go to your question, Cody, about um, Bernie Madoff? What he was doing was Bernie Madoff did something that was very clever. He ran an actual legitimate market making company, which was the kind of the front for the business, which during the boom years, he was actually making a lot of money with his actual business. So what he was doing was he wasn't investing any client's money. He was just putting it into a bank account. And after I think the crash of 87 all the way up to 2008, we had a pretty much an economic bull run. And so there's more retail investors, more people investing, more people getting, because I remember when I was a kid in the late 80s and early 90s, they were talking about how all these young people getting into stocks, getting into trading, day trading was becoming a thing. Short-term trading, hedge funds were becoming bigger and bigger at that time. Because before, most people just said, "Hey, the stock market is a scam," and the stock market was really only for wealthy people. It wasn't for the average person. But they were trying to get the average person in for so long that now, once they finally like ballooned in there, I think it's kind of like the crypto space. Like there's only maybe like 10 or 12 million people in stocks
That's where we're
in
at with
the 80s.
crypto,
But
almost.
then when the late 90s happened, all of a sudden we went up to like 120 million people using the stock market. 401ks got bigger, pension funds started investing more. A lot of other like businesses started investing their tossed away cash. So a lot of people started trying to make money off the stock market. So Britt here with an excellent comment. What I don't understand is some people want people to get started in investing, but then judge them because they are making mistakes, even though they are just learning. That's absolutely right. It's
True.
tough. It's like the hardest thing a lot of people don't understand is that when you're trying to learn and build your wealth and build your understanding of money and build your knowledge, because 90% of Americans don't have a good grasp or understanding of how to invest and everything. So you're going to make mistakes and you're going to fail. But unfortunately, because Bernie Madoff, like Ponzi schemers and scam artists, unfortunately, they are very, very, very good. They are very good at targeting people that are in the right time at the right moment. So when you've lost the most amount of money, you lost your job, the economy's bad, you're losing your house, your parents passed away, or you had a family member pass away, and you're at your mental worst, they hit you, and you're kind of hoping for that big hit in your finances so that you can get back to where you want to be, get financially stable. And unfortunately, that happens. And then, of course, when people make mistakes, like especially if I lost everything, I'd have people lining up, pointing fingers, saying, this idiot, that idiot, look at him, he lost everything, all that stuff. It happens.
Yes.
I have people right now that when I invest in crypto tell me, you're investing in crypto, you're going to lose everything. That's money down the drain. You're stupid. You're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
I get that all the time, and
Happens.
I'm
It
22.
happens. The same thing happened when I was just starting stocks. The same thing happened when I started businesses. The same thing even happened with other businesses in the area that told me that I don't know what I'm doing. My prices are wrong. I don't understand the market. I don't understand anything. I'm an idiot. And of course, this happened. Of course, now most of them are out of business, and I'm still standing. So uh, no matter when you start getting success, your biggest haters are going to be your biggest supporters. I'm just telling you that right now.
And
Um,
strangers support you more than family and friends sometimes. Sometimes.
absolutely, absolutely. And Sir Jake Banger, when did I get involved in crypto? It was December 2021. Actually, I think it was like December 9th of 2021 is when I started. Uh, your brother lost 500K in GameStop, and was that GameStop? Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't pull out in time, and that's that's the funny thing is like no one ever gets their money out in time. It's always bigger and bigger and bigger. It's
Because
like
the greed takes over. You got to take
yeah,
profit.
the greed just hits, and people are like, well, if it gets higher, I'll make more. If I get higher, I'll make more. Don't exit now. It's like I had when I got into Ethereum at 1,000, and then it bumped up all of a sudden to 1,500. Of course, I took money and profits right then. Um, what's Surgic Banger? What's the most I made so far? How much you extra money, and because 2021 was the end of the bull market. Okay, so I did lose quite a bit. I lost on Harmony token. I lost on VVS Finance a lot of money. Technically, I'm down on XRP because I was getting in when it was like at 93 cents, I think. I think that's when I started investing. I remember I was getting in, it was going up to over $1 and then it shot down and just shot down. But I've been steadily dollar cost averaging in. So the only big plays I've made, Sergey, is I made I got into quant at $50 last year in August. It
Yes, me
shot
too.
up to like 158, and I took a majority of the profits. And now I just kind of got back in. I'm getting back into quant and starting really building that bag. Um, I made some money on Atom. I made quite a bit on Atom. I'd say about a 2x on Atom right now. But any of the gains that is right now, like most of it's just been going down. Yeah, if I got in, I probably could have caught Safe Moon. I definitely saw it, but I never invested. I just stayed with
Safe Moon is a rug pull of
yeah,
rug pulls.
yeah,
It is
it
the
is.
worst. Stay away from Safe Moon, please. I can't believe it's even still being talked about.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Surgic, if you put 300 into Safe Moon and turned it into 24K, that's good because that's an example of get in and get out. Brit, uh, it's the COD timing. It's absolutely, but unfortunately, what really happens is the greed takes over. Kind of like the perfect example of greed taking over is the Dogecoin millionaire. That guy, he invested in at the right time for Dogecoin. He went up to I think $3.5 million. Didn't take profits. Didn't do anything.
Life changing money.
Life changing. And what he should have done was at that point is okay, since it's a huge portion of your portfolio, divest it down to your original investment value. That way you took the profits and then he could have invested in other things and he would have been worth a lot more now. Or like if he had bought, let's just say he had bought rental properties because 300,000, $3.5 million, he could have leveraged that into a nice portfolio of real estate properties and then would have had consistent monthly cash flow, which he could then use to get back into crypto or get into stocks or get into whatever he wanted. But that he's a prime example of he didn't cash out in time. Now he's still technically up. He's still technically a millionaire because I think now you could stake Doge and he has like a million worth of Doge that's staked. So he's making money.
Speaking of Doge, Elon Musk put out something about Doge warning investors like to be careful with that. Which honestly, when a rich person is trying to warn people, it kind of makes me want to get in more. I don't know.
Hey, thanks, Britt. Thanks for the love for that. We're gonna give you something special here. Oh, you are already a monitor, but hey, thank you for all the support. Yeah, like and subscribe, share us. Also, subscribe on our channels. And if we're offline, if we're not live, and you guys have a question and you really want it answered, you can go to our Facebook page, Simply Investing, and ask the question. Now, I know there's a lot of Simply Investing pages, but look for the one with the blue check mark, with the blue graph and the black check mark, and that's us. Uh, but yeah, Elon here 7 hours ago, warning for Dogecoin investors. Let's take a look at that here. But before I go into this, I just want to speak to everything that is every in finance. There are a lot of scammers, and we're not just talking like Ponzi schemers like SBF and Bernie Madoff, but we're also talking about like there are boiler room tactics where they just trade your money and burn you away to nothing and take fees, and that's all they do. And like there's brokerage firms that don't care. There's a lot of other things that can suck your money out, and it unfortunately it sucks. It just sucks. It's part of the thing. And the only way you can overcome any scam or any rug pull or any con artist is that you have to have a clear mind. And in order to have a clear mind, you have to have peace of mind. And you're only going to have peace of mind by only investing in what you are willing to lose. because anything that's an investment, whether stocks, crypto, bonds, real estate, anything can go to zero, absolute zero. Just remember that. And if you go in with the understanding that it can go to absolute zero, and if you lost the money, you'll be completely fine. Then you're in a good mental state.
And in 1 year, I'll be at about $20,000 portfolio value. That's a lot of money for a 23-year-old, but at the same time, if I lost it, that would light a fire under
Exactly.
my ass.
Exactly. And like Cody, if you're Cody's age and you lost it, you can still recover. But unfortunately, if you're 50, don't try to put everything you got into like Dogecoin or any of these things. Always stay diversified and try to have something that's liquid too. But I also have I have businesses, they could go to zero at any time too. A lot of things can happen. So just be aware of that. Anything can happen, so you got to be prepared.
I think
And
there's a quote from like this guy. It's a long time ago. He was on, I think, television saying this, but he
Mhm.
said waking up is a risk. People think
Exactly.
investing is risking. Just wait till you get the bill for not investing.
Yep. And everything's a risk. And it's just,
Everything.
you gotta assess the risks and come to your conclusions of what your risk tolerance is. That's all. That's all it really is. And
Starting a business, going to zero, that happens to people all the time.
absolutely. And
You got to be willing to take that though if you're at the right time to take it. You can't be
absolutely.
like in your 50s and 60s, well, I got about 500,000 in retirement money. I want to turn this 500,000 into 5 million. Should I open a business? And you don't have that much knowledge or the right people around you, then you get into something to where you think you're going to make cash flow, but in reality you're actually negative.
Exactly. And it's terrible now. And shout out to Britt here. Anything outside your comfort zone and skill level is a risk. Absolutely. Anything that it's way outside there is definitely, you're increasing your risk factor exponentially. And like I said, starting my moving company was rough. I've had numerous things. I've had people steal from me. I had a total of $240,000 stolen in
You remember Zach?
payroll time.
How he
We
backed the truck into that thing and how he costed you money?
Yep,
I
that.
remember. I'm not gonna lie. Remember with the whole alarm thing with me? We
Yep,
got the company got a 900. Fun fact, I was going into the moving company's door when I was opening up in the mornings, and I didn't disarm the alarm fast enough. I'd be kind of tired and I'd be scatterbrained, and I did it 3 times. The police came out there because they thought somebody was breaking in, but they billed us $900, and I paid
yep.
for it. But things happen.
Yeah, and so things happen. I had people steal from me. I had tools stealing from me. I had last year in, I think it was around August, end of August. I had an employee back a truck up into someone's house.
Oh my goodness! Like, what did it do? What's the damage?
It was about $10,000 worth of damage. Actually, luckily it was an older home and brick, so it was pretty. It was a pretty sturdy home. The home was a tank. It did more damage to the truck than it did to the home, but it was about $5,600 in roof damage to the house and
Oh,
about $9,000 in damage to the truck. But everyone was safe because what happened was they parked the truck on that. You know how Bella Vista is, shows sharp
yes.
incline driveways.
Oh
Well,
my
they tried to
goodness.
park it there, but the truck was 10,000 pounds over with additional weight. So the air brake couldn't hold it, and it just rolled down into the house.
Y'all get a lot of Bella Vista clients too.
Oh yeah, 'cause they're the ones with the money to move a lot of times. But luckily everybody was safe. I think people realized the severity after that because I haven't had a problem since then. Other than I had an employee, a driver, steal money. He had our trip cards and was withdrawing money, and he was taking abnormal an abnormal amount of cash advances on our unauthorized cash advances on our fuel cards every time he went out of state.
Oh wow. I remember when we had the whole PayPal thing too. That can happen with businesses.
Yep, and PayPal just blocked our business. I couldn't process payments. So at that point, after that, I switched to Stacks, which is a crypto based platform for payments. So all payments get registered to the blockchain. And guess what? It gets very hard for people to fake those credit card claims. I mean, there's a lot of stories. I could go on for hours about how much stuff I had the wrong investors. I had the owner of my first property that I was renting, his brother moved in next to me and didn't like me, so he got us kicked out. Um, I won that lawsuit against them, so I didn't have to pay my other 5 years of rent. I had another place I rented a warehouse from. They destroyed $80,000 of cleaning equipment and moving equipment supplies because they refused to fix the toilets and the sub pump wasn't working. So of course, all that sewage came up and destroyed everything. I've had clients. I had over $100,000 in collections for clients not paying their bill. Credit cards
Really?
declined. Oh yeah, credit cards declined. They refused to pay. We took. I had a lawyer, an actual, an a lawyer, an attorney, a well-established attorney in Arkansas. I'm not going to say his name and call him out here, but he refused to pay anything. I took him right to court in the ethics committee, and we got our money
You
plus
you
extra.
took a lawyer to court?
Yeah, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of anybody. I will take any. If you
A
run a
lawyer
business,
did that?
you got to be hard. Oh, when you're a small business, people think they can get over on you on anything, and it's
So it's a
unfortunate.
dog eat dog world, you know?
There you go, Britt from Fort Smith. Shout out to you. I'm in Northwest Arkansas, so that's where one of my business is, and we operate in 6 cities now. So if anyone's wondering, the 6 cities are St. Louis, Kansas City, Little Rock, Oklahoma, Northwest Arkansas, Oklahoma City, I mean, and Northwest Arkansas area, which is like Fayetteville, Bella Vista, and then we're opening up in Dallas. So I actually got it today. Run down to Dallas to look at a new site, and hopefully we could try to break
Wait,
ground by next year.
you guys have a site in Oklahoma too?
Yeah, because the rent's cheap out there. It's like $500 for 6,000 square feet of a warehouse space with 2 loading docks. I couldn't pass it up, so we opened up.
Oh wow.
We're in Oklahoma City. We're kind of by like where Norman is. If anyone's familiar with Norman, Oklahoma, that's where it is. That's where one of our warehouses is. Um, so we've been growing fast ever since. Um, and unfortunately, we don't have a warehouse in Fort Smith, although we plan on creating a hub there because we use I-40 a lot. And with I-49 being built, we're going to put a warehouse there because I think in 2 years they're going to connect I-49 to Sharifport, so they will that'll definitely be a good hub for us because then we can access anywhere in the United States pretty quickly. Uh, but it was just like I said. I mean, I gotta start cutting this a little short because I gotta go. I'm a little behind on my schedule here, but I do want to say is like if you guys are starting anything, investing anything, your biggest haters are going to be your biggest supporters, and your family are going to be the ones to shoot you down. Your family and friends. I know it seems like yeah, my family's going to be on board. They support me. They they a lot of times they don't. They might say they do, but they don't. They're not going to support you, and that's only it might be because of they don't understand what you're doing. Like I can tell you right now, my father's not a big supporter of me running businesses. He won't say it, but he that's not his mentality. He is get a job, save your money, do things at a very slow pace. And for him it worked. He was a teacher for 48 years and he retired with a net worth of $5 million. He saved, did
We're
everything
in different times though.
we are in different times. And he kind of his peak career was like during the 90s, and the 90s was the best time to be an adult and making money. Unfortunately, um unfortunately that was just the peak time to be an adult and get earn the most amount of money. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever see a time frame like that again for a long time. But with that being said, thank you guys for joining. I don't really have any final thoughts on everything. Just remember, whatever path you choose, do the best that you can. Learn as much as you can. Follow with as much. Get do as much research as you can. Understand where your risk tolerance is, and I really hope that you guys can make the right decisions. Don't let your emotions make the wrong decision for you, because that can only lead to bad things. But you know, if you want to do what I did, start a business. It's probably the hardest way to wealth generation, but it has the biggest payout if you make it, and that's a big if that you're making. Hey, you're welcome, Britt. Hey, thanks for joining in with us today. Really appreciate your
Oh
support.
yeah.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time at 8:30. 8:30 every morning we do our crypto morning chats. We talk about something, always something. And then 8:30 on Sunday is what's in your portfolio. Wednesday tonight, every Wednesday, we're going to do a live on researching, picking a certain token to research or stocks, or it's always open forum too if you wanted to chat about any things that you think about investing in, ideas, or how can you get your business started. It's all free. Join in, live, share. It will be Brit at 6 p.m. Central Time tonight. So, but thank you guys for all your support. We definitely had a pretty long stream today. I do have to run my moving company, but before I go, any final thoughts there, Cody?
I was just soaking up everything you were talking about as far as like businesses and everything. Like that was a good learning lesson for me. Usually I have things to say and usually I have inputs, but I actually learned a lot from this stream just listening to you, man. And keep in mind, I'm on the stream and I'm learning from him. If I'm on the stream and I'm learning, you guys who are viewers could be learning too. Like I said, I'm 22. I have a risk tolerance right now. I'm pretty hawkish when it comes to taking risks, but that's not into shit coins like Pepe and get rich quick overnight type of things. I'm more into like value, like Quant, for example, the Digital
Mhm.
Pound Foundation, Bank of England, tokenizing assets, Chainlink, the big Oracle token, Ethereum, the DApp creator, it's like that's what I'm into. I'm not into Pepe the Frog and Dogecoin and Shiba,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I'm not one of those kids like, yeah, man, I'm taking risks, financial freedom, I'm buying Doge and Pepe. Like, no.
Yep, exactly. And and Cody's got a good head on his shoulders, and definitely he knew a lot more about crypto. And we were doing a route from basically here to the West Coast, and then back to Dallas, and then back home. And I was like, what? That was like a week and a half out on the road,
Yeah,
and
I
we all
enjoyed
we
it.
did was talk about crypto, and I learned a tremendous amount. And thanks to him, he is a contributing factor as to how I expanded my portfolio and my understanding. I always say everything happens for a reason. You meet
Yes.
up people for a very specific reason. I'm not a. I wouldn't say I'm a very religious person, but I do believe in God and God's plan. It took me a while, trust me. It took me a good 20 years to get to where I am today to really understand that there's a reason why things happen, and everything is happening for a reason. So I know sometimes it may seem dark, it may seem rough sometimes, but there's a reason why you're going through this, and you can survive it. If you're going through hard financial times, you can survive it. A hard breakup, you can survive it. Divorce, you can survive it. You a rough time starting your business, no support. I mean, my detailing, the guy I did a partnership for the detailing company, I can't he was down because his family, friends, everybody, and he knew a lot of people, nobody was supporting him. God will give the hardest journeys to the best people that can handle it.
Yep.
Trust me. And like I said, my mom, I learned it from my mom, who came from the depth of poverty, went to Princeton University, went from the lowest economic class to the 1%. and she
Yes,
worked in accounting. She worked in a lot. She like you guys don't realize like, you are in the
pretty
country that can
smart.
change it all. For for our age group and generation, it may take a lot harder work than it did for the generation before us, but we can make it. We just got to be smart. We got to be diligent, and we just got to be patient.
And
It's
fun fact, guys, his mom actually worked for somebody who was worth about $100 million.
Mhm.
His mom actually learned a lot, and that's what I'm saying. Like in my opinion, that's like a great family setup because starting a family out with knowledge on your finances and knowledge on how to grow, you can only just keep passing that down, and you're gonna create a wealthy family tree. You can only keep passing that down.
Absolutely. And shout out to you, Britt. Yes, hey, thank you for finding us this week. I'm glad that you're starting your journey, and really good luck with your business that you just started this week. I hope all your hopes and dreams come through, and I really hope that that you're able to learn a lot, and that you can get to the level that you are aspiring to. And yet, just like it is, no one's going to really pay attention to you. No one's really going to care. And then when you start making it, like I can't tell you how much hate I got just for the M4 competition the other day that I said I'm buying. I'm today. At the end of today, I'm actually going there, paying my deposit, signing all the paperwork, and getting it ordered at the end of today. And here we are. A couple days ago, people were like saying BS. It's like, but I'm telling you, it's easy to get to there. And it's like, I did things in a little reverse. A lot of guys like to do things like fitness first, then try to do everything. But I see that fitness first gives you the highest reward first, because once you start looking good, you get a false sense of success with
And
it.
you get comfortable just by feeling rewarded off of
Exactly.
fitness. When you start
Exactly.
on your money, and I'm with Salvatore on this, like I'm not where I want to be like fit wise. Like I'm a skinny guy, I wish I was more bulked up. But right now, I work out every now and then, but right now I'm focused more on like my finances so that way, I could
Mhm.
get my own place, and that way from there, I have the money to because it's not all just lifting weights, it's diet,
Yeah,
you got to
it's
afford the right food, you
yeah,
got to be,
exactly.
and financial comfort, it also gives you a peace of mind to where you're not worried about punching in on a clock, or you're not worried about what's next or what's on the table. You could just worry
Yep,
about like working out and fitness and doing
exactly.
things like it's a Monday morning, people are going to work, you're not going to work, you're going to the gym, at 9 a.m. It's
But
Tuesday
here
morning.
exactly, and Cody's right. And like, here's the thing: this is to all the young guys out there, and all the things like if you are like in a good physical health, you can just maintain it. But the problem I see is, and I'm 39, so I'm turning 40 this year, and the biggest thing I see is a lot of people with good fitness, they filled that fitness bucket up, but that discipline didn't transfer over everywhere.
Yeah.
I was really big when I started this company. I was big enough that they really had to go get a livestock scale to get me to weigh me. I am now down to about 270. I'm about to say, yeah, Britt, I'm 39. I know I look young, but I guess I lucked out in the genes. But like I was saying, like I now am in the position though, because I focus on building the money bucket up first, then building up my education and knowledge bucket first. So now I'm able to go and fill the fitness bucket. I can lose weight. I have a boxing trainer. I have a boxing trainer, a workout trainer, and I pay for a nutritionist.
Yeah, see,
So
like a
I
lot
mean,
of
that's
people.
like 3 grand a month I pay in that. And then on top of that, I got to buy food. I didn't mean to cut you off, Cody, but
No, you're good,
uh,
man.
I also spend probably about just on myself about $2,000 a month in food because I'm buying like salmon, steaks, higher quality foods. So, and I'm losing weight now at a steady pace because I have all those things in place. I would never be able to do that if if I had went fitness first, because then I'd be working out all the time, my money's not right, and I'm broke and I'm hungry. And when you're hungry and broke, that's when you make bad decisions with food. And in order for me not to make bad decisions with food, because I know I know my body, I know my diet, I know what's happening. I'm able to say, let me get my money right. So now I can afford to get the food I need to eat. And then I can afford to go to the gym. And then I can afford to hire trainers and do all that stuff.
We're in a
Yes,
capitalistic society. That's how it's supposed to
exactly.
go.
Exactly. But I don't mean to keep ranting. If you want to, certainly I can certainly do a video down the road some point about my journey and everything. But you guys will see me losing weight because I work out 6 days a week and sometimes twice a day. But thank you guys. It's been a long time. I do got to get back to running a business. People are messaging on my phone. But thank you all for all your support. Don't forget our live streams every 8:30, really Sunday through Friday, and then every Wednesday, 6 p.m. live. We're going to be running our live stream tonight, and it's every 6 p.m. I don't know what the topic will be, but we kind of talk about anything. Today was just about rug pulls and scams and financial fraud, but I think we'll talk more about business and how to grow and maybe a little bit about my journey and stuff like that for you guys, so you guys get an idea of who I am and everything. But thank you guys. We're going to check out here. Like and subscribe, share, and subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Right now, we're at 184. But so keep it going. We've been slowly gaining. But the more you share us with, the more people that can learn, the more people that can get involved. So thank you for all your support and your love and everything that you're doing for us, because we do this for free, and we really just do it because we like to talk about it. And we're
Oh
just
yeah,
continuing on the conversation. But hey, we'll check you guys later. And that is it. Thanks for watching.